Hi, I'm Grossbeck Parham, Professor of Gynecologic Oncology at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill and also the University of Zambia in Lusaka, where I have lived and worked since 2005 and where I am located today. I'm very sorry I can't be with you today in person, but the workload here is just so intense that unfortunately I could not get away. My deepest apologies. When I was asked to put together a short video in memory of Dr. DiSaia or to celebrate his life, I immediately started reflecting on my own life because it is through that prism that I best understand his greatness. And that's what we are really gathered today to celebrate, the greatness of Phil DiSaia's life force. If I had to choose one word that best describes Dr. DiSaia, it would be luminous. Luminous. Something that emits a steady stream of suffused, glowing light, much like the flames from a burning candle. Luminous. Africa is a place where storytelling is held in high regard. So let me tell you a little story that explains why I chose that word to describe him. Back in the mid-1980s, when I was a third-year OBGYN resident at the University of Alabama in Birmingham, applying for a gynecologic oncology fellowship, one of the faculty there suggested that I apply to the University of California, Irvine. No way, I said. There's no way I would get into that program. The competition is too stiff. It's at the very top. Why not? He said. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I applied. Later, I began traveling around the U.S. interviewing at the various programs to which I had applied, and I flew out to California. Thought I was coming to Irvine and ended up at a hotel in Costa Mesa. Dr. Berman's secretary, June, drove out to pick me up. She was a big smoker and actually had an ashtray sitting on the dashboard of her car. At the time, unfortunately, I smoked. And so we smoked together all the way from Costa Mesa to Irvine back to my interview. And before I got out of the car, she doused me with perfume and gave me some mouthwash because she said there was a guy in there by the name of Dr. Berman who hated smokers. And she didn't think I should lose the chance of getting a fellowship because he smelled cigarette smoke all over me. After the interview, several months went by, and I started receiving letters from the various programs to which I had applied. One rejection letter after another, until I just did not even want to open the letters when they came to the house. I was rejected by everybody except one program, and that was the University of California, Irvine. I had not received that letter, but I knew I was not going to be accepted. Early one morning, I was at home in Birmingham, and I was in the bathroom. Excuse me, I was actually sitting on the toilet. The phone rang. At the time, we did not have cell phones. It rang once, it rang twice. I didn't want to get up. It rang 3 times, and after the 4th time, something said, "Get up and answer the phone." I waddled out of the bathroom to the phone, picked it up, waddled back, sat down, said hello, and the voice on the other end said, "Hi, Beck. This is June from UCI. Remember me?" I said, "Of course I remember you." I fell halfway through the toilet because I knew that she was about to tell me that I had been rejected. Instead, she said, "Dr. DiSaia would like to speak with you." I then fell all the way through the toilet because I then knew that he himself was going to deliver the bad news. He came to the phone and he said, "Beck, this is Phil DiSaia. We think you would do well in California. I went silent because I had no idea what he meant when he said they thought I would do well in California. He said, "Are you still on the phone?" I said, "Yes, sir, but I just don't quite understand what you're trying to tell me." He said, "What I'm trying to tell you is that you have been accepted into the Gyn Oncology Fellowship at the University of California, Irvine, if you care to accept the position." I really don't remember what happened right after that because I was just enthralled. I hung up the phone, I flushed the toilet, and down the drain, literally, went a life which probably would have been a successful general OBGYN doctor in Birmingham, Alabama, to the possibilities of an existence that I could not have conceived of in my wildest dreams. I have been able to build the largest cervical cancer screening program of its type on the African continent. I've been able to catalyze cervical cancer prevention and treatment across the developing world by influencing international policy at the level of the United Nations, the World Health Organization, the Global Fund, and the World Bank. I've had the great fortune of being able to collaborate with former U.S. and present African presidents and first ladies to promote cervical cancer prevention in HIV-infected women in the poorest parts of the world. I have and am still training doctors across the African continent to correctly perform gynecologic surgical procedures in places like South Africa, Malawi, Zambia, Tanzania, Cameroon, and Kenya. So why have I been able to do these things on such a broad scale? One, because of the caliber of my training at UCI, which gave me the ability. Two, because of where I train. Once I trained under J DiSaia, no one ever questioned my credibility. And the third reason is leadership. If you paid close attention to how Dr. DiSaia did things, and I did as a fellow, he actually taught you how to lead, but he also instilled in you a deep desire to lead. Even if your place of work is in a dark dungeon, which is where most of my work is. He used to always tell me, "You are the best, and therefore you deserve the best. And everybody around you that you touch deserves the best. And the only way you can do that is through aggressive leadership." So, Patty, the light that Phil used to illuminate lives like mine will never die. His life force lives in us, those we touch and train, and the lives we save, no matter where we are. Dr. DiSaia, my brother, your work is done. Your legacy is sealed. Rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you did for me. Thank you. Celebrate his life.